I'm going to be sharing with you a rough estimate of moving from Nigeria to the UK, and this is also applicable to other countries. It only depends on your exchange rate. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Fundraiser. If you're joining me for the very first time, I'm so happy to have you all in my beautiful family. And for my returning subscribers, I want to say thank you guys for always coming back to watch my videos. I really do appreciate. God bless. If you're new to my channel, on this channel I create content on how you can relocate to the UK, jobs with visa sponsorship in the UK immigration updates, studies in the UK, everything you need to know about the UK. So if you're someone who is interested in that, do hit on the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell, so each time I upload a new video, you're going to be the very first person to see that video. So guys, let's quickly dive right into today's video. As mentioned earlier on, in today's video I'll be sharing a rough estimate of the total cost, what you will need to move to the UK as a student. And if you watch my previous video, we know that the UK government has finally announced that if you're coming to study in the UK, you can easily switch to a skilled worker visa without completing your degree. I actually did share that video. I'm going to leave it in the description box below so you can watch that video. So guys, in today's video I've been getting a lot of messages, people asking me, oh Fajira, how much do I need to move to the UK as a student, since the UK government have said we can switch once we get to the UK. Guys, I would advise that once you get to the UK, don't just switch immediately, because even the employers, I'm sure they will ask that, why do you want to switch immediately when you have not even done your course halfway? So it will be good that if you get to the UK as a student, at least 6 months, you can put that in your coursework and class assignment, like every other thing you need to do. So now, before you move to the UK, as earlier mentioned, as a student, you will need to gain admission. And the UK universities now, for you to gain admission, you need to be ready. Recently, some of my subscribers came back to me recently and said that some of the universities that they applied to, they said their first degree is over 10 years. So they cannot give them admission. So you have to make sure that you start your preparation from now. Some universities now are beginning to take that into account. So first thing, to come to the UK as a student, you need to gain admission in a UK university. And once you gain admission in a UK university, the next thing you need to do is to pay part of your tuition fee. And some universities are asking for 3,500, 4,500. It depends on the percentage, but recently a lot of universities are asking for 50%. So if you gain admission into a university that the teacher fee is, let's say, £12,000, some universities will say, okay, you have to pay 50% of that, and 50% of £12,000 is about £6,000. So as I'm talking, just be writing, because I'm just going to give you the rough estimate and you do the calculations yourself. I'll leave it on the screen as well. So if they ask you to pay £6,000, or let's say they ask you to pay £4,000 before you can get your cash, you have to pay that £4,000, right? So that's the first payment you will have to do. Then when you get to the UK, you have to pay the remaining one by installment. Now, after you have paid that, the next thing you will need to do is, some universities, even before they issue you your cash, they will ask you for a proof of funds to show that you can look after yourself and you've got the balance of your school fees in your account. And you have to send the proof of funds. For one person, it should be about 10 point something million, or let's say 11 million, depending on the exchange rate. We don't know what the exchange rate is going to be. But recently, one of my subscribers that came, the proof of funds she showed for herself was about 10.5 million. So you need to have that 10.5 million in your account for at least 28 days for you to be able to apply for your visa. But I would always advise that you have that amount in your account for at least 35 to 40 days before you apply for your visa. And like I earlier mentioned, that some universities right now are asking for the proof of funds before they even issue you your cash. So make sure you have the proof of funds in your account. Even if it's for 2 months, it's not going to do any harm. It's going to be for your own advantage. So just leave it in your account. So when you have paid that, then the next thing you have to do is to pay for your IHS, which is a health insurance. So if you're coming as a student, you will have to pay for health insurance. But if you're coming as a carer, you don't have to pay for health insurance. So the health insurance should be, I think, about 1,000 plus, depends on the exchange rate at the time you're paying. So once you have paid for that health insurance, the next thing you have to pay is your visa fee. Once you pay for your visa fee, If you want to pay for priority service, you can pay for priority service. But if you don't want to pay for priority service, you can just leave it, because right now the visa is taking about 3 weeks to be out, and some people have actually gotten their visa even before the 3 weeks. So you will have to pay for your visa fee, which I'm also going to leave on the screen. Once you have paid for that, you have to pay for your tuberculosis test. I heard that the tuberculosis test is about around 50 something thousand. I don't know if you know, you can just add that to it, but these are just the things you will have to pay for. So if you pay for all of that, I would advise that you put it together as I've just mentioned, because I don't have a calculator on me right now. So just put them together. You pay for your health insurance, you pay for the initial installment for your school fees, which will enable them give you your CAS. You pay for your visa fee, you pay for your tuberculosis test, and you pay for fast track if you want to, which is priority service, or you don't pay for priority service, you leave it, you just apply for the normal visa without paying for any of those services. And you need to have a valid passport for you to be able to apply for your visa. So if you're coming to the UK as a student, these are the things you will need to pay for. Then for your proof of funds, I don't know how you would want to do it, but it's about 10 point something million in your account for at least a minimum of 28 days. So just do the calculation, do the maths yourself, and see what the rough estimate will be for you to be able to relocate to the UK. And the proof of funds, I said it's 10.5 million and above, because you're going to be studying outside London, but if you're studying in central London, it's far more than that. So which I will advise that if you want to come to the UK as a student, it's good for you to look out for schools that are not in central London, because the proof of funds you will need for schools that are outside London is lesser than the ones that are inside London. So when you're looking out for universities, look out for universities that are outside London. Then another thing I will have to tell you is that if you want to come to the UK in September as a student, please guys, this is the best time for you to start sending your applications to schools as soon as possible. Lots of schools are already closing for their admissions for September. Getting admissions now into UK universities is becoming more difficult, so you have to start now to apply for schools, and look out for schools that are not so expensive. So once you arrive, you can be able to manage. A lot of students arrived recently, and some of them, it has taken them like almost 2-3 months. They've not been able to get a job. So look out for cities that are not so expensive when you're applying for school. There's something new now that some of the UK universities they are doing. If you have shown them the proof of funds and the remaining balance in your account, and if you get here, if you're unable to pay that balance you're supposed to pay, I heard now that they are locking you out from the school portal. So guys, once you arrive, try your best, try as much as you can. Even if you start paying 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 pounds, look for a job and start paying as soon as possible, because when they see that you want to pay but you are not able to pay all at a go and you're making them bit by bit, I'm sure they will not just lock you out of the school portal. And once they lock you out of the school portal, they may withdraw your visa. So be very, very careful with that, okay? This is just a rough estimate for those who have been asking me, that made me to film this video. So I hope you find this video helpful. We've come to the end of it, and if you do share this video with your friends and loved ones. Do like and subscribe if you're yet to subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see you right in my next video. Bye bye for now.